Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very special live episode of Inside the Well Space. We're diving into a topic that affects every part of our health, which is our gut. That's right, your gut runs the show more than you might realize, from your cravings and hormones to your mood, to your energy, and even your immune system. Joining us today is Ella Davar, a nationally recognized longevity dietitian and founder of the GutBrain certification program. Ella has thousands of bloating, brain fog, stubborn weight, and fatigue, not with restriction, but with a science-backed approach that reconnects the body and the brain. Today, Ella is going to break down what's really happening in our guts when we feel tired, anxious, or bloated, how our microbiome controls everything, from cravings to mental clarity, and the practical science-driven steps we can all take to heal and reset our gut for good. We'll cover everything from mindful eating,
there's so many ways to go from this
to foods that actually heal, and how gut health impacts your skin, metabolism, hormones, and overall vitality. Ella, thank you so much for joining us.
Cathy,
and we're so excited to learn from you today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
A pleasure. So can you just, I think probably the best way for us to get started, which is always the way we get started, is can you just tell us your background, top line, what got you to where you are, and like, where are you exactly?
Wow, so many stories got me where I am today. But if we were to focus on the gut health, I've struggled with gut health since I was a young girl, since I was a teenager. I grew up in an organic farm, eating all homegrown produce, eating organically. But despite all of that, it's the emotional aspect of my childhood that I struggled with. I internalized a lot of stress, a lot of fear. I grew up in a very austere environment.
Where? You were in Russia, right?
Yes, it was in the suburbs of Russia, in a small town.
Okay. Well, the suburbs are nasty anyhow, but that's probably...
I know. The reason I started sharing this story, because I know how many people can relate to, despite having all of the abundance of organic produce and everything being highest quality, but everyone tends to focus on these days, it's the emotional aspect that most people miss, and that's what I'm trying to bring in and change the industry with the GutBrain Method. So I've developed the inflammatory gut condition when I was 16. And I remember the moment when I was sitting in front of a bunch of medication, what I had to take before and after food, and I felt like a failure. I felt like I failed at this life because I'm so young and I have this list of medication already, more than my grandmother did at the time.
Wow.
That was my first lesson. So when I moved to the United States, surrounded myself with a loving, safe environment, that changed. That changed for the better, and my gut health issues went away.
Okay.
And then I had another flare-up when I ended up on Wall Street. As a young immigrant, where do you go to make a living in New York City? So I excelled at math and finance, and ended up working at wealth management at United Bank of Switzerland. And there, deadlines and being an A-type personality, overachiever, high performer. Next thing I know, I'm constantly bloated. My skin was flaring up with acne and rashes, and I tried every diet until there's a dietitian that changed my life by changing my relationship with food, and yoga saved my life. And it wasn't my third lesson until I became a dietitian, a licensed medical professional, and I went through the whole medical school. I changed my career. I went through medical residency and got my national license, and I thought, finally, I know it all. And it wasn't until then when I developed acne. I was in my early 30s, and I was working at a longevity clinic on Central Park South in Manhattan with the top brilliant minds of the industry, and no one could help me with my eczema. And they gave me all these protocols on steroids, of detox, nothing helped. The next month it came back in a different part of my body. This is when I knew I have to look at the root cause.
Right.
This is when I did my first gut health test and diagnosed myself with parasites, did an entire treatment, herbal treatment, never had eczema since then.
Wow. And so it's almost, I don't want to say it's that easy, but you just have to know.
Yeah.
Right.
This is when I really decided to go all in into the science of it. And thanks to our industry is finally catching up. Our colleagues and scientists from Harvard and Stanford are finally catching up that your gut it is true, that is your second brain. And we're having this moment that we're finally recognizing the root cause of many imbalances, including skin, hormones, and metabolic issues. And so that's when I developed this program, the GutBrain Method, which is now a certification course, as you said, because it's not being taught in schools.
A couple of us were just talking about that before.
And most professionals that you see on social media, you ask them, how did they get into it? It's all through work experience, challenging patients, and or sometimes family issues that they had to keep looking beyond surface level solutions. And that's what happened to me. And when I try to expand my practice and I try to hire, I started teaching. And all of that program is now available worldwide because that's what I'm trying to change the industry. You know how people say, like, medical professionals, they're not taught about nutrition?
They're not.
They're not taught about gut health either. Even GI doctors,
Right.
they barely know. They just know the functionality of the organ, the tissue itself, but not what the microbiome is very advanced. And you can't blame them. I always say, don't blame the medical profession, blame the system. And this is what I'm trying to change right now. At first, my program was for like health coaches, nutritionists, but most of my students are now dietitians, OBGYNs, dermatologists.
Could be any of us, though.
Everyone
it could be any of us who just wants to really learn about it.
The saying is it's for everyone who wants to heal themselves, help their family, and help others.
That sounds like a mom to me. I mean, I feel like that could be you could do a whole course for just mothers. Like, seriously, because I don't know. There's so many ways to go from this too, because my mind is spinning around. For me, I think about skincare. You know, that's just my thing when it comes to gut, and that's like something that I need to learn more about. And I went through.
Your skin is a direct reflection of what's going on in your gut.
Totally, 100%, isn't it? And I went through chemotherapy and radiation about a year ago, and like it ravages your skin, and nobody was talking to me about skincare. Not one person. They didn't know, and I'd ask them about nutrition too, and say like, I'm going through chemotherapy. I'm afraid to put anything in my body. What should I do? And they were like, we'll find you. We got to find you a nutritionist. Like they just didn't know. And again, to your point, like not blaming them, but it's not intertwined, is it?
Yeah. And even myself, look, I went to the most prestigious school in Manhattan, NYU, and I did my residency at Mount Sinai and Cornell. And I was taught to just give compassion to cancer patients and feed them whatever they want. And in the hospital, it's mostly ice cream and puddings and nothing.
No, not supposed to do that. No. I mean, like, oh God, that's so awful. Okay, so let's get into some basics, because I know this is a very educated group of people here, and everybody knows a bunch of stuff already.
Yes.
So, but let's just like get some basic stuff down. What is functional nutrition exactly?
It's the one that focuses on functionality, the root cause of the disease, and the one that actually provides value.
Okay.
So because nutrition science and the first book on diet was written more than 100 years ago, and the main idea, which is still true in physics, calories in, calories out equals the result, right? But functional nutrition differs on that because it provides more details on the nutrient density of the food beyond just caloric.
And the importance of the nutrient density, is that what we're aiming to get
Exactly.
when we do a functional diet?
How it functionally affects human health.
Okay. So should we be like, how do you know about density around
nutrient density?
Yeah.
Well, I just focus on nutritional basics, which is anti-inflammatory diet is the only one that I promote, which is focusing on real foods that have anti-inflammatory properties. It's basically whole foods.
Whole foods,
What you see is what you get. That's how I taught myself way before, like when I worked on Wall Street. It's like, what is whole foods? Is when you look at the food and you know exactly what's in front of you.
Yeah.
If it's a steak, it's just one ingredient. There's nothing on it. Maybe butter that you can't see, right? But if it's something else, like a processed meat, you never know the amount of ingredients that's there. Or same thing with fish cakes versus fish. The whole food is the one that's real, is exactly for what you see in front of you.
So that leads me to a question about just detoxing too, because so again with the cancer thing, sorry to talk about myself, but going through when I was done with chemo and radiation, I said to my doctor, all right, I want to detox now. How do I detox and like get all this out of my system? And she was like, oh my God. She was like, no. Whole foods. She said that exact thing. She said, eat healthy foods, lots of healthy foods, lots of vegetables, drink so much water, like just do all of that and sleep. She was like, do not detox. Those are not healthy for you. What do you think about like the whole idea of detoxes and cleanses?
I think it should be part of everyone's routine.
Detoxing and cleansing?
Yeah, on a natural, like seasonally.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? What should we do?
Depends. I mean, you have to find some of the rituals that work for you. For me, overnight fasting, and then maybe I fast once a week or once a month, depends on where I am in the cycle. And then additionally, I do plant-based days. That helps me to detox. Green juices, that's all part of it. Like I don't do juicing days, but I make sure that it's part of my routine.
You have your own juicer and you make your own juices.
And then all of the like anti-inflammatory and antioxidants that I add to my routine, that helps me to detoxify on a daily basis. And then I do go, and that's what I'm known for. Like for my birthday, I usually go for like longevity clinics around the world.
That's nice.
That's how I celebrate getting old.
I did that last year, actually. That was good. I liked it. Yeah.
Me too. It's been my ritual for the last 5 years.
For every year on your birthday? I kind of love that idea. Okay, so longevity nutrition then is so thinking about functional nutrition, got that, then what is the idea of longevity nutrition? I'm throwing these words out because there were a lot of these things that were talked about at Eudaimonia where people, you were there, they would talk about these things. So what is the concept of longevity nutrition that we're hearing about these days?
I think it's the same. It's just the sexier way of saying balanced nutritional intake.
Okay.
And then you're focusing on nutrient density.
Okay.
And because like you said, most of the audience right now is educated. They know about the health benefits of avocados versus chips, right? So for me, longevity nutrition is focusing on the functionality of the nutrients that you're digesting. So every time you lift a fork, you're contributing to your longevity or not.
It's a choice.
Yes.
And you should be thoughtful about it.
The environment is set up this way that if you don't make that conscious decision, you'll probably be failing because the environment is set for you to just, like, cheap food is everywhere and it's all dead food. It's not nutrient dense.
That's kind of gross, isn't it?
So it takes the work, and this is what we all are trying to change. The more we do it, the more we normalize it, the more we make it the new cultural norm. Right now, it's only available in the large cities.
Yeah.
But as soon as you go out in the suburbs, not as much.
This kind of this healthy nutrition you're saying.
Yeah. The salad bars.
Yeah, I know. I love salad bars.
I know, you were spoiled.
I love a good salad bar. Okay, you talk about something called bio-individuality.
Yeah.
What's that?
Ooh, it's my favorite topic. So I trademarked the term Eutarian diet.
Okay.
Because,
you wrote a book on that, didn't you?
Yes, it's I think my third book.
She writes books, by the way.
Yeah.
Lots of them. It's cool. Okay, keep going.
Thank you. So bio-individuality is my answer to the confusion in the industry. So when we talk about longevity nutrition, you all probably know there's a big camp on the left that's saying like the plant-based eating is key. Yep. I can name the names, should I? Like the Blue Zones, the Brian Johnson, my favorite biohacker. There's so many people that are advocating for plant-based eating. And on the other side, there's a group of scientists and researchers, brilliant minds that are advocating for high protein intake. They're advocating for high animal-based or carnivore. And guess what? They're all promising you the same result.
Yeah, it's confusing me. I gotta be honest
with you.
In
the middle is me and the rest of the audience who are confused and they're like, which one is right? Which one's wrong? And I'm supposed to know the answers because I am a clinical medical nutrition professional, right? And I always tell my clients, it's the best, the smartest doctor in the room is your body. And when my patient end up in I used to have an office at the #1 wellness resort in Miami, and most of my patients come in, they're very smart. They all have access to social media, Google. Everyone's a nutritionist, as they say. Everyone has preferences, everyone has opinions, everyone is a nutritionist. And they come to my office and they always, by that time, they're thoroughly confused.
Totally.
Like, I've tried everything. I've tried being a pescatarian, vegetarian. Nothing works. You tell me, because they feel like they're spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
They're doing so much work. They're doing everything right, but they're still confused. And this is when I try to explain to them, like, have you tried being a Eutarian? Have you tried looking what's going on underneath your skin? And with the accessibility now, with biowearable devices, with data being so accessible,
Just got it.
My
no
favorite
idea
investment.
What to do with it. I gotta be honest with you.
I've had it for like 6 years, and it's my favorite way to be competitive about like good things in life, like sleep scores.
What's your sleep score?
Oh, yes.
I know. How much REM did you get?
Next thing is to be competitive about your blood sugar levels, right?
Oh.
And
is it that easy to do? The blood sugar accessibility?
Yes.
How do you know? Like, how do you find out?
I mean, it used to be only available for like diabetics, and at the longevity clinic that I worked at, we wanted to motivate our clients, not just by the theory-based information, just, do this because Ella tells you so. No, do this because you have data from underneath your skin. And especially, with high performers that have so much going on in their life, and food is the last thing they think about, like controlling. Food is more like associated with pleasure and reward. And this is when they truly, nothing trumps like the 30 minutes after effect. Because usually with food, what are you trying to control? It's the biomarkers on your annual blood report, or it's the number on the scale that you're trying to change.
Well, that's the thing,
and the
right?
feedback loop is so long. By the time you eat and by the time you see the change, it takes like weeks or months, right? But when you see the results right away, 30 minutes after, that's when people shift. And that's when the concept of bio-individuality comes in, because I have couples and friends that eat the same thing, but they respond differently.
Right.
And that's just one biomarker I mentioned, like the blood glucose, right?
Yeah.
But then there's DNA. Everyone's different. And then there's gut health, my favorite subject. And I still don't talk about like some of the things like parasites, treatment, or enzymes publicly, because not everyone is the same. Not everyone has the same issues.
But there's so many skin issues, though. Sorry to interrupt, because you're on a good roll.
Yes,
but
that's one thing.
The skin issues and
Yeah.
parasites, et cetera. I was just talking to somebody about eczema before, and
You're
those are
You're
things that
inspiring
happen.
me, to speak more about
Go,
it.
because that's the thing I'm obsessed with. Actually, I need to know more.
Yeah, and then hormones. I don't test hormones, but all of that, and like depending on where you are in your life stage, your hormones fluctuate, right? And so with that, I've developed the concept like the bio-individuality and Utarian to help people understand that to get the fundamentals right and to invest what I say, their time, energy, and money into getting to know their hardworking body and getting this clarity and this data from their body. So for me, the way I explain it is like usually people come in confused. I heard that, I read that, I watched this documentary, my friend's doing this. So the information's coming in from outside in versus what I'm trying to change is to get information from inside out.
Right.
You're doing it just not because Ella told you or you've heard it somewhere. You're doing it because your body is telling you and you're listening and you're responding to it and you feel good about it.
Yep.
And this gives you so much empowerment and peace and clarity. And this is what I'm trying to do for women, just to connect them with their body. I serve as someone who interprets the results for them and connects them to their body, their mind, and their body. And suddenly, you no longer care who's doing what.
No.
You're just doing what's right for you and your family.
And feels good. What feels good.
Yeah,
Right.
and then everyone just, wants to learn from you. And
I love that. Wait, and I love that you said the best doctor, the smartest doctor is your own body.
It's your own body. It's not me. I don't know.
Great.
Especially, and the last thing that I mentioned is food sensitivities and food intolerances.
Yeah.
That changed my life because I tried every diet before I became a dietitian. I was vegan, Ayurvedic, macrobiotic.
You were just trying it all.
Yes, and it wasn't until that dietitian that changed my life by running this blood test for me.
Okay.
And I started focusing on foods and the diet that was right for me.
For your body.
Created for me, no one else.
So then do you think that it's, because you mentioned food sensitivities, which I
Yes.
know we all have some sensitivities. There are certain things, you might not be allergic to it, but you don't feel well after you eat them, but that could slowly be hurting you actually. Is there, you talked about getting to know yourself and the fundamentals of what it is to know yourself. So it's the blood glucose levels. We should know what that is. We should understand that. I think the sleep thing is it's really important to know what kind of sleep you're getting, right? But then what about the sensitivities? How do we get to know about that?
You run test.
You just go to a doctor and get a blood test.
No.
We go to
it's
an
very
allergist.
Advanced. Most doctors, it goes over their heads. They say it's not it's not something that they would do. That's what I do.
Right.
So I don't most clients come to me with all the basics figured out.
Yep.
Their annual blood test, their allergies. That's what regular annual test usually checks for.
Right.
But what we do is advanced testing on
got
gut
it.
health and food sensitivity. Some functional medicine doctors would do it. Yes.
They'll do it like a food sensitivity thing.
But it also depends on the lab. So right now, there's with the rise of gut health awareness and food sensitivities, there's some labs that are marketed to consumers.
Yes.
And the technology behind it and the business model is not as advanced or good. It's just promoted to just give you like this quick
Basics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And very often people come very disappointed with those tests. And the tests that I use are very conservative with with advanced technologies.
Right.
And you can't even get them because they're not marketed to consumers. And you need to be a licensed medical professional because we diagnose based on those things.
You can diagnose, right, and give somebody.
And those are very advanced. And the amount of data that you'll get into, that's how I built the GutBrain Method. We systemize what creates an optimal gut health.
I don't know.
You want to talk about it?
Yes, let's go. I have no idea. Tell me. I don't know what's going on in there. No clue.
And most people are confused either. They say, is it inflammation? Is it microbiome? Is it all I need to know?
Yep.
So there's actually 5 aspects of gut health. That's my 4th book. It's called 5 Factors of the Optimal Gut Health. Inflammation is definitely one of them.
Right.
And you can kind of cover it with anti-inflammatory diet. And like I said, most of my clients that come in, they're health coaches and models. They know what's
They know what an
anti-inflammatory. Yes, they know what
And an anti-inflammatory diet, just for everybody who might be listening, would that be just like whole foods, Mediterranean type diet?
I mean, I'll give you the basics of it. It's basically focusing on nutrient-dense foods at every day, and those are green leafy vegetables that are they're like superfoods. They're antioxidants loaded, colorful, berries specifically, and fruits and vegetables. And then there's probiotics, and then omega-3s, and then spices and herbs, and then everything else, the healthy fats and healthy proteins.
That sounds yummy, actually. And that's so that's just sort of
the
basics
basic of anti-inflammatory diet. Yes.
So we all know this, right? We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Just saying.
Number 2 is microbiome, which again, most people figure it out, and it's trending. And dysbiosis is the condition of imbalanced microbiome. That's when you have an overgrowth of something and not enough of good bacteria.
Right.
That's second thing. The third thing is digestion, which most people take for granted, but not many people are aware of. As we get older, we lose enzymatic sufficiency. And that's when we get weight gain, constipation, feeling bloated and fatigued. Some people are not being able to break down nutrients, including proteins and fats.
So all of a sudden things start going awry. And you don't even realize that that's actually what's happening. And that, when you say it happens as we get older, for us girls, we all, they say menopause, you gain weight. I mean, I guess that's probably part of why.
You've probably heard the stories. Like, I've never had problems with dairy or gluten, and suddenly everything, makes me feel puffy and bloated.
And it does,
partially why.
Okay.
And again, not everyone has enzymatic insufficiency. Some people do.
Okay.
That's number 3. Number 4 are infections.
Interesting.
H. pylori, parasites, yeast, and fungi. And Wall Street Journal recently ran an entire investigative report on what's causing cancers in younger population group. And they say it's GI imbalances and undiagnosed chronic exposure to H. pylori.
Okay, that's fascinating.
Yes.
Because why did I get breast cancer? Beats me. Wasn't in my family. I've never, I'm pretty healthy anyhow. So we don't know, but these things happen. There are these imbalances, right? Okay, keep going.
So that's number 4. Number 5 is metabolites. Most people don't realize that your gut actually metabolizes and creates things like vitamin K is created in your gut, short chain fatty acids, and some enzymes are created in your gut.
Okay.
And some of it is affecting the inflammation levels, and most importantly, it affects hormone levels. There's a specific enzyme that's created in the gut. It's called beta-glucuronidase.
Okay.
And it helps to repurpose estrogen. And if it's too high, that's when we get estrogen dominance. So those are all the things. There's the 5 aspects of optimal gut health.
Okay.
Metabolites, digestion, microbiome inflammation, and infections.
Wow.
That's 8 pages reports, and then I just summarize it for you in 5 aspects.
That was very well done, by the way. But it's a lot of information for us to digest. Yeah, it's a lot that we have to figure out what to do.
And then when you create an approach to it, how do you, and most people on social media, they're like, take these herbs for parasites, takes these enzymes, and most women just shop for an entire thing. And I mean, look, they're trying to safeguard themselves. You can buy, the entire treatment for all, but you might not need it.
Right.
And what's key and what I'm extremely passionate about is educating. And I feel like, most people heard saying your gut is your second brain.
Yeah.
But how many people ever looked inside or figured out or even paid attention what's going on in their second brain?
Don't
you think it's worth it? At least,
yeah, totally. But
that's what I say, at least once in your lifetime.
Right. But the way you break it down makes it bite-sized almost, because you say, all right, there are these 5 things you need to think about. I honestly didn't know that. But I think it's important. We all know a little thing, bits and pieces of things here and there that we're all doing. I mean,
we all take it for granted, but if you really think about it, so many stories and so much wisdom in our gut. Don't get me with mindfulness and intuition being all coming from your gut, right? And most people know that.
It's true. So how do you, when you're embarking on this, at what point in time, what do you start to see for yourself where you should go see you or someone like you, or what should we be walking away with from a meeting with a doctor or a dietitian?
There's so many nagging symptoms, and I can give you a list. It's on my website. It's under like health history, which is like a free form that you can look at. It's called Integrative Symptom Checklist.
Okay.
And certain things like...
She has a great website, by the way. It's like so much information. It's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's GutBrainMethod.com. Yeah. So those symptoms like stuffy nose, even snoring.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many stories I have of people being healed.
But that's interesting
It's
because
mucus buildup,
for
and it
us,
has everything
women,
to do with gut.
right? Don't they say that women, as we go through menopause, we start to snore? But maybe it's because of all this stuff that's going on inside of us, right? It doesn't come out of nowhere. Okay, keep going.
That's just one thing. Like ear infections, skin issues, all types of skin issues. There's different aspects. There's skin conditions, acne, rosacea, eczema. They're all connected with gut health.
They are all connected with gut health.
Energy levels, fatigue, feeling bloated, brain fog. So those are all what we call is delayed onset of reactions. So when you have allergies, you know the anaphylactic effect, it happens right away, and you know right away. But sometimes certain foods can affect us in such a way that we only get symptoms 24 hours.
Interesting.
And then people call it life. It's okay to have heartburn because it's socially acceptable to have heartburn every day, to feel sluggish, to feel brain fog, just have another espresso and you'll be fine. Everyone's doing that, right? But it's actually not.
It's not. No, it's not. It's so interesting you say that too, because I just got an Oura ring. And only because I'm dying to figure out my sleep, because I'm tired. Like I sleep and I wake up tired. I'm like, this is what is going on here. And but then you have to learn how to figure out what they're telling you. They're like, there are all these different things, and like, so how much REM is good and how much deep sleep is good, and what I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's a lot to learn and digest, but the sleep facet is a huge part of...
Yeah, sleep and gut is also related because GABA and serotonin is produced in the gut microbiome, and that's what regulates your happy hormones and the hormones that are responsible for melatonin productions.
So the sleep is...
You probably heard this saying, like, when it's a full moon, you wake up in the middle of the night, that's your parasites.
No.
That's a very Miami thing.
What is that?
Very advanced woo-woo science.
I like it, but what is it?
It could be true. I mean, it's not scientifically evidenced, but it's partially true. I mean, your gut is connected to the cycles of your brain.
The cycles and the circadian, all your circadian rhythm. That's like real stuff.
Yeah.
That is so important. All of us here, like, how do we walk away knowing what shape our gut is in? Like what should be the first thing that we all leave here and do?
I mean, what do you mean, to get the test?
I don't know. Like what test?
I mean, the symptoms, it really depends on the woman. I think, like I said, especially when you're going through hormonal changes, it's a key. And I diagnosed so many women with overstimulation with that enzyme. And that alone helped them to control their estrogen repurposing and rebalance their hormones naturally. That's one way. If you're having any of those symptoms that we've shared, or if you've tried so many different things, but you feel like there's a missing piece and you feel like you're still spinning your wheels, that's when I recommend, like, at least once in your lifetime, paying attention to what's going on, and you'll be surprised the amount of information, and also like the relationship with yourself. It's a very intimate process to just like even take some time out of your day and to learn what's going on in your gut.
I know.
I've diagnosed so many people with different conditions, and maybe not for everyone. For like tougher people, have no problem, but some of the like sensitive people, they know.
Yeah, I would imagine so with like real allergies. You mentioned something before where you said you would recommend detoxing or fasting, whatever, like once a year or with the change of the seasons. Is that, tell us a little bit more about that.
Once a year, I would do like a whole week of maybe like a fasting or a detox protocol that's more advanced. And there's a great clinic here in Florida that's more affordable than the European clinics, called Hippocrates Institute.
Okay.
Where you go in and you're mostly fasting, but you eat a ton of raw vegetables, and it's mostly sprouts. Oh. So they are extremely nutrient dense. So that's once a year. I love doing that. Okay. And then the rest is, my favorite way to detox is overnight fast. So at least 12 hours for every woman. Avoid late night eating if you want to get up feeling like flat belly and tiny waist and full of energy. Make sure you wake up hungry.
Okay.
So avoid late night eating.
So that's like intermittent fasting?
Yes.
So that's a good thing, because we're now hearing that it's not a good thing. It's a good thing?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I love it.
I mean,
12 hours is minimum.
It's not such a big deal, is
or
it?
more, yeah.
So how then can you, like, if we wanted to reset our gut just as lay people without...
And there's so many antioxidants. Like I would supplement for detox protocols.
There's
some protocols, there's like 10 days detox where you would just go on a more like more green vegetables, more antioxidant loaded vegetables. Yeah.
Okay.
Depends how you feel. It depends where you are at the stage of your life.
Yeah, I guess that's
Some people
right?
fast a whole day, 24 hours, once a week on Sundays.
Really?
Yes. For men, definitely it's a thing and they love it. For women, it really depends where you are. I recommend actually my fourth book it's called Feed Your Hormones. It's for women. And I recommend for women fasting. If you want to fast for like a day or 48 hours, it's very important where you are in your cycle. And the best week to do it is the one right after your period when all of your hormones are naturally balanced.
Okay. Oh,
and
is that right?
you naturally have a lot more energy. So that week is a perfect week to be vegan, to try fasting or juicing or to eat less. Yeah.
That is interesting. That's something to take away. Then there are those of us who just don't have cycles anymore. So when would be the best time for us?
That's when if you're not a childbearing age anymore, that's when you can experiment more.
You can do it whenever, basically.
That's when you can fast a little more. And that's basically, there's so many health benefits to it, more than detoxing. Autophagy process kicks in, right? When your zombie cells are clearing themselves out. And it makes you tougher, makes you stronger. And that's key for longevity. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that's what fasting is at the end of the day. It just makes you feel, not just detoxing, but also makes you feel more resilient.
This is so exciting to me because now I'm thinking about January and a plan. And we're going to talk about that, not here, but in
We're
private.
starting with fasting mimicking diet.
What's that?
Oh, prolonged diet. That's the one that was researched by Italian scientists, and they say it's 600 or 500 calories per day that you eat. I mean, it's a box, and it's only like 5 or 7 days that you eat from. Okay. And it's apparently proven by them that you still get the benefits of fasting, but you eat a little bit. There's like a soup, a nutcracker there. Okay. That is nutrient dense, but very low in nutrients.
I think that could be
very low in calories, but nutrient dense.
It sounds interesting. And then there's the whole idea of like dieting in general.
Yeah.
And your foodie diet.
Yeah.
So why don't we take an opportunity now to talk about what you did with this book? Because this is her new book.
Yes, and this is my masterpiece.
It's her masterpiece.
This is my 5th book.
Can you just like bullet point? I have them written down, but why don't you say them? All the books that you've written that got you here.
The very first one it's a collection of recipes. That was way before I wanted to be a book author. It was just a PDF file that I would give to my clients at the end of the session after I would tell them like everything about the good foods that they should be eating. This is like a recipe collection of that they should do. And then like when I started working on TV and cooking on TV, everyone introduced me as a book author. And I'm standing there like, it's a PDF file. and that's when I was like, I got to publish that book.
I better write a book.
Because they can't introduce me as a PDF file creator. Right?
Wait, don't you love how stuff happens though? All of a sudden it's like, oh, crap, I think I now have to write a book.
It took me like 6 months.
And all of a sudden you've got 5.
And like 10 episodes, they kept introducing me as a book author. And so I published it.
It's awesome.
That was my first one. It's called Cooking for High Performers. It's for those who don't have much time to eat, to cook. Yep. And I used to live in New York City and I never used like a food delivery app. I made all of my meals from scratch myself, but it's very functional. I focus on these, nutrient-dense ingredients that are super delicious and easy to make. And so the second book is called The Utilitarian Diet, which is basically all of the tests and diagnostics that I've learned from the longevity clinics years and medical years. Everything that you should learn about your body. Like
that might be a good one to start with. Yeah, actually, that's what I'm thinking for my own self.
It's for those who kind of tried everything, knows all the basics, but still finds like. Because there's so many questions. What about the DNA? What about this? What about my hormones? And it's kind of like everything in there. Okay. And I describe why it's important. For example, DNA test, not my favorite. You can just ask your grandmas and your grandfathers about their health of their parents, and this is your DNA test. You already know if you have whether you do or do not have like diabetes or early cognitive decline in your lineage. Yeah. It means that you're genetically predisposed. Right. That's just one way. And then the third book, it's Feed Your Hormones. I wrote it for women because most of the female clients that would come to my office were so hard on themselves, and they all would come like, I am so perfect most of the month, but this one week that I'm just like everything goes out of control. And I'm like, it's almost okay. And when your hormones go up and down, and you have to change a little bit. You can't be detoxing an entire month. So that book is all about,
and that's normal, by the way.
Yes.
Like it's normal that
it's
our
a
hormones
protocol that I've created for each week of women's cycle.
Oh, cool.
When is the types of supplements that you need more of?
Oh, that's great, because that changes too,
Yes.
which is fascinating
Yes.
to me. I learned that after the cancer situation, that you have to, it's not just one thing you do. You have to,
your
things have
hormones
to
are
change.
messengers and your friends, and it's time to find peace with them. So it's called Feed Your Hormones. So how to
that.
eat to make sure that your hormones are thriving.
Right.
And then the fourth one is 5 factors of gut-brain reset.
Oh, cool.
It's basically those 5 aspects of optimal gut health.
Great.
And what to do about it.
Yep.
And there's certain things that absolutely everyone could do. Like the one thing, how to prevent parasites, bacteria, and viruses, it comes down to one thing: optimize your immune system. Because 70 to 80% of immune systems originated from your gut.
Yeah.
And COVID happens, guess what? We don't know what's next was going to happen, right? So all we could control of is how strong our immune system. And look, I've had friends who died from cancers, and I looked at them. I used to compare myself, like, what's the difference between me and them?
Right.
We all have precancerous cells in our body.
Yes.
And it's our immune system that keeps them dormant.
I know. I think about
I know,
that
I'm
because I
getting
had the
goosebumps.
cancer.
Yeah.
So I think about that and what you were talking about before. And I don't know, things that go into just getting to understand what is going on with your immune system, so that way you can bolster it and avoid this. And it seems like there's this whole other epidemic of a weakened immune system because young people are now increasingly getting cancer. So that it is something we need to be, more. It's like I feel more and more strongly
I talk about
it now.
medicinal mushrooms there, the oregano oil, and all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Okay, so then now you're
The foodie diet. That's right. So this is where I finally marry the science with joy.
with joy.
Yes,
I love that.
I became a dietitian because I would love to eat good food. And I hated all the diets that I tried because they were impossible to sustain. And I became a dietitian to figure out how I can play this food game on my terms. And so the foodie diet is all about it's about emotional and nervous system reset.
Right.
The emotions behind restrictive dieting. And if someone is still dieting, or like a carnivore that travels with food and just very afraid of food almost, there's some feelings behind it.
Yeah.
Because as children, when we grow up, the first thing that we're able to control, because we can't control anything, but as children we try, the first thing that we can is food.
Isn't it true?
And when you get attached to that relationship, as an adult, you have to look at it deeper to understand what's behind the cravings, what's behind the root cause of the emotional cause of those restrictive, or why are you so hard on yourself? That's first chapter. That's how I open it up. And then of course the gut health, an entire chapter there on gut health being the root cause of mood, overall metabolic health, hormonal health, skin, everything there. And then the rest is a lot of longevity science. Everything that I've gathered, and I've been mostly focusing on the longevity science lately, all of the advanced research that we see with some of the supplements recommendations. I have an entire chapter on that, and on hormones, entire chapter. So basically it's the only nutrition book that and the bioindividuality chapter on that. So that's
cool.
Basically all 5, and the recipes, all 5 books are in there.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could keep just talking to you, but I really want to give people an opportunity to ask questions, because I know you're here because this is of interest to you. But so why don't we wrap up just our chat? If you were to leave people with a couple of top line things that they should do with all of this information that you're sharing, what would you suggest those be?
Educate yourself first, and then create a ritual or routine that works for you. You don't need to do it all, but at least once a week is my ritual. I became a massage therapist when I was 18 years old, and since then I've had a massage once a week, non-negotiable, no matter where I am. It's the best way to keep your lymph, which is your what is it called? The system.
Draining system.
Exactly. That
your
helps
drainage.
to get rid of toxins naturally.
It does.
The best way. And it doesn't matter which one. Lymphatic drainage,
anything.
Full body, scalping massage.
Wait, can I just add to that? I'm just going to say, because I created a massage therapy program with Naturopathica around oncology treatment services when people are going through chemo and radiation. The massive importance of massage therapy, but from people who are are certified in oncology treatment so that you can be touched, because it's, it needs to be a different kind of touch when you're going through it. But the healing power of touch, there's data on that at this point. Like, it is medicinal. So I agree with you. I think that is something that...
And then routines, like my routine is like, I avoid late night eating. Like I'm known, like I go for my sunrise meditations and I do like 6 p.m. dinners.
I love
That's how I prefer it.
Early dinner in
it just
bed
makes
like
me feel
9.
good. Yeah,
I know.
And then the rest is exercising every day. Exercising is like the best medicine to keep the lymph flowing and detoxing, and making sure that even if you overindulge, happens to the best of us. We all go to Italy and we eat less vegetables than we should. Just go back to like, I also promote like breakfast salads for those who, didn't eat any vegetables for dinner. That's part of the book, how to balance it out. And even when you do overindulge, like sometimes, I eat more desserts than I should. And then I come home and I support my insulin because I know it's going crazy, because I know what's going on underneath my skin. I know my blood sugar is spiking to 200, but there's a way to support it.
Okay.
You can take berberine, you can take... other compounds and antioxidants that help your insulin to balance it out.
But we just need to know.
Or enzymes. Gluten food, no matter how bad you tell me it is, it tastes good and we all know it. Gluten, dairy, and all the butter foods. Yep. But when you come home after overindulging, take the enzymes.
And it mitigates the damage that will be done.
Yeah, even when I diagnose my clients with enzymatic insufficiency, just giving them enzymes for the rest of their life is not a solution. It's like giving you crutches and asking you to like enjoy your life and run around. No, there's a way to support enzymatic sufficiency, like eating bitter greens or consuming Swedish bitters as a tea.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially for women, love recommending it.
I'm hungry now. I don't know about any of you. I'm hungry and I have a lot of things I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to just hit pause on us chatting. Now, who has questions for her? Yes, Jessica. Yes.
Thank you for all this information. I'm looking forward to delving more deeply into it. I don't know if you've seen on Instagram or where you ask doctors or nutritionists or longevity experts rate something 1 to 10.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah.
So I could ask you about something.
Yeah.
And you tell me 1 to 10. Effective is 10. Most effective is 10. 1 not. I would love your opinion on a few. Maybe you guys will throw.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good.
Infrared sauna.
Saunas are amazing. Like, it doesn't have to be infrared. Any sauna for me. There's a lot of science behind it, but I grew up going to like wooden saunas, like Finnish or Turkish, or just all of them. The steams or like sweating. That's what I meant to say. Sweating is a key for detoxification.
I agree with you, Jess. I know.
Yeah.
But I've been looking at the infrared too, and I'm like, do I really need infrared? Can I just be sweat? You can just sweat, right? I'm nervous about the infrared. Why? Why am I nervous
I'm
about
actually
the
the
infrared?
same way.
Are you nervous about it?
That plugs into the like electricity and they put it on me. I'd rather be grounding on the beach or hugging a tree.
Yeah, it's like down to nature,
just,
back
like,
to nature.
Putting another device on me.
Yeah.
And
That brings me to red light therapy.
Yeah. I kind of like, the science is on point. It's up to you to make a decision and invest in it and see how you feel with it. But it's actually, the science is like so advanced on it that it actually works. Yeah.
Where you stand on it?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Love it. But I recommend, and I've been doing at least like 10 to 15 jumps every morning. It's part of my
little mini tramps, mini trampolines.
Yes. So dancing is the best exercise for women because it helps you to connect with your body and helps you to express yourself through your body. And you know how hard it is to dance for most women, right? It's like you're feeling so awkward. The best medicine connects your mind with your body. And I recommend dance breaks throughout the day. Instead of another coffee, just start dancing.
So you don't need to stand on a vibrational power plate.
I love it. It's great.
Right.
It's a great solution. It's fun.
It's fun.
But
it's a
for
new
those
thing.
who are
It's a
like
thing.
on the budget, you have a solution. You see what I mean? That one you want to be careful with.
I heard that too.
I love it, but you have to be so tough with it. And it's definitely not for like right before your period or during your period. You want to be more gentle. And now with like more evidence on like how it affects fertility and women being like, you want to be careful.
I read something, we all read so much stuff and these are so great because it's like, wait, is it yes? Is it no?
Yeah.
I never really loved the cold plunges because they just felt too cold.
Cold
like
showers?
It was. I love cold showers. I love water, but the cold plunge.
Yeah.
And then I read something where it said that for us, for women's bodies, because of the hormone stuff and the fluctuation, et cetera, we shouldn't be doing as cold water as male bodies. So, but they're teed up for male bodies in any spa you go to.
Yeah.
It's a specific temperature based on a male body.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, no wonder.
For me, the key is it has to feel good.
Yeah.
And I like the way I used to do cold plunges, like, in anatomy, they have two. One is super freezing. I'm like, forget it. That's not for me. The one that's like more or less, I think it's like 50 or something degrees. You go in for 5 seconds. And then it doesn't feel good, get out.
Get out.
And then go back in for 15 seconds, and then it feels so much better.
Yeah.
And then and everyone's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just doing what feels good. That's my rule.
Right.
And then you go in for another 60 seconds, like, wow, this feels good. It's no longer like I'm killing myself here. And then one day I did it for 5 minutes. It was totally out of peer pressure. I got skin rash all over me.
I hate peer pressure.
And I was like, why was I doing this
so
to
bad.
myself?
It's so
didn't
bad.
even feel good. Like, no, you don't need it. If you want, I mean, it's great for like the ice cold water on your face, like contrast showers. That's great. But anything that doesn't feel good, no.
Isn't Ella giving us a life metaphor right now? Do what feels good.
Yes.
Right? Listen
But then push yourself, challenge yourself a little bit.
I think we're all that
Yeah.
way, though, aren't we? Like, I feel like people in this room are like, we're all pushing
But
it.
don't do what men do, and don't compare yourself to men.
No. Oh, God, no. No. Okay, what else?
Yes, so much science and like scientific evidence on it. I'm not like Huberman was just giving a huge talk about eudaimonia.
Yeah.
Like, you have to start very careful.
Yeah.
I'm not regular with it myself, but when I do, like 5 grams, I take it probably like once or twice a week right now.
Yeah.
But the amount of like evidence for muscle mass and brain health is definitely like on point.
Okay, I'm going to add on to this, and I don't know if you know about this or if this is out of your scope, but the whole GLP thing that's going on right now,
I got
because
fired
now they're
from
talking
the last clinic because
you said it was a good thing.
No.
Oh, you said they were
Opposite.
bad.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing stuff now and at eudaimonia.
No, all I said is that you have to talk to dietitian and like focus on healthy foods before or after you try it. That's all I said.
Okay, well,
I'm not
that's
against
fair.
it. It works. It was created for diabetics. It works wonders. It creates success feeling for so many people that are struggling to lose weight. It definitely, I'm not against it. I just said like focus, because I've worked with GLP-1s 15 years ago, way before everyone knew it.
Yeah.
And I worked, and at the time at the longevity clinic in New York, they were prescribing it to everyone because it was producing results.
Right.
I've had patients in their 20s using it, and they would be on the calls with me like, oh, I'm not hungry all day. I feel good. And then I just eat cupcake.
Oh,
that's a
no,
problem.
No.
And she's in her early 20s. She's losing weight. She feels good. What do I tell her?
Right. Leafy green vegetables.
Exactly. She's like, what? Why would I do that? Everything's already working. So that's what I vocalized. Like,
right.
Yeah.
The
You
and
have to
to
feed
that.
your hormones in your skin somehow.
Totally.
Yeah.
Agreed. No, but they were talking about, and I asked it in 2 different panels because I was really curious because it's now like you hear about it, that they're finding benefits to the GLPs that we didn't even know about, like cognition. It's helping women with cognition and helping around, I don't know if it was bone or cardiac. It might, because I worry about all that stuff because I am on an estrogen suppressant now, so I can't do HRT. So I'm like, is there anything that's
you
gonna?
don't want to take GLP-1s for cognition, right? It's a side effect that's somewhat beneficial.
Right.
You want to do everything else, like even like optimizing your gut health.
Yeah.
To help you with
That's
cognition
first,
and like get rid of the brain fog.
Yeah.
But it does help, especially for those who are like extremely overweight.
Yeah.
Not like losing weight feels good and helps you to like think clearer for most people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my question. Okay, what else? Yes.
I have a question about fasting. How many times a year can you do like the week fast?
The week fast. I mean, really, like your body is key. Try for 24, 48 hours and see how you feel. I would build to it.
I mean, not weekly. I do it for a whole week.
Uh huh.
I've already done it twice this year.
You see, so you've done it twice. So how do you feel?
More, but I don't want to.
How do you feel? Did you? Okay. All right. So how did I just recommend building into it, like building your resilience to it, like starting with 2 days fast and then 3 days fast, and see. Very often when people have certain deficiencies or some underlying, health conditions, it flares up.
While you're on a fast.
Yes.
Interesting.
And that means to me, if you're feeling great, it means you're very healthy and resilient. And if you feel great, sure, do it. I wouldn't do it more than like 4 times a year, once a season.
That sounds good.
Because it's what's called healthy stress, and you want to get exposed to that, but don't overdo it until it becomes like, negative stress. The what?
The other peptides?
Yeah. Yeah.
Peptides that are trending right now.
That topic I am not an expert on. That's why I started the Global Longevity Association,
Oh, good.
where some of the brilliant minds unite around these topics and like advanced research. And BPC 157 is my favorite. This one's been around for forever.
Okay.
It's very famous and it's healing and anti-inflammatory.
Is that the one you just mentioned? The peptide? That's a peptide?
That's a peptide, yeah. And there's so many advanced ones. I'm actually recording a podcast with the peptide professor, I think like later in December. Actually, tomorrow recording a podcast with a lab that specializes in hormone testing, Dutch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, to educate more providers.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not an expert on peptides.
Okay.
Yeah, but except for that one.
That one.
Yeah.
That one. But
That's
I guess.
just like so easy, and it's like anti-inflammatory. It's healing to the gut.
And you just
healing
take
to
it
the
as a pill?
tissue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That one I get it from my parents.
You do?
Yeah.
And is that something we can all be taking every day?
Not every day. I would take it as, intermittently.
Okay.
30 days and then give it a break.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want to take anything every day except real food. There's like in Latin, there's a saying like Hippocrates, the difference between like medicine and poison is the dose. So anything that's in a highly concentrated form, you want to treat it as medicine. You expose yourself to it for 30 days and then you take a break. Huberman said the same thing about creatine.
He did.
How to figure out which dose is right for you.
Yeah.
Do it for, forget what he said, 14 days? Yeah. And then take a break from it completely.
Yeah.
And then figure out and see how you feel.
Yep.
And then do it again or increase your dose.
Know your body.
Yeah. They call it N of 1 right now in the industry.
They call it what?
N of 1.
N
so
of
it's
1.
research based on just one person.
Of your own person.
Yeah.
That's
The best doctor in the room.
the best doctor in the room. Your own self. Yes.
So what's the best parasite test? And then what would you have heard of it?
It's the one that I use. It's called, it's by Genova Diagnostics. It's an entire page on different, there's 5 types of parasites that we test for. And the truth is, if you want to know, not everyone has parasites. And most people in the northern hemisphere don't have them. Parasites are prevalent more in around the equator, in the warmer climates, like Florida. But it's specifically people who travel to third world countries. Most of the people that I diagnose have been just got back from Bali, Mexico, Costa Rica.
I'm going to Mexico
and all
in
the
2
fun
days.
Places. Yeah.
What do I need to do?
Most likely no. There's so many women that I gave them good news, because they all come and I have parasites, and they don't.
Right, and they
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Okay. So
It could be dysbiosis. They could have an overgrowth of bad bacteria,
Right.
which is completely different species.
So if you get, just follow up, if you do get a parasite, what do you do?
That's a very specific targeted herbal protocol.
Okay.
Again, not everyone needs it,
Yeah.
but it could be extremely healing for most people
Okay.
that would get diagnosed. And even parasites, I think there's different types. I think it's in this book, different types, and they're treated different with
Yeah.
different herbs.
Yeah, a friend of mine
Same things for
recently told me that.
viruses and bacteria are treated with different
Viruses and
Yeah.
bacteria, that's true. Fascinating.
Yeah.
What else? Anyone? Anything? Yes. You got it.
Okay, I'm wondering, there's so much different tests out there in different panels.
Yes.
Right now,
Yes.
from the Dutch to function and all
Yes.
these ones. Which one do you recommend is the best for hormones? Or what test is there? It feels like there's so many tests out there now. And what would you recommend for the first test?
Yeah, the first one, the basic one, should be your annual blood test. All of the basics, right? But if you go to a regular doctor, it's very limited.
It's
They
very
test for,
limited. So something like she said, function.
function is a good one.
Function's great.
Yeah, it's very. No, Dutch test is hormones specifically, and it's. For hormones, depends on what you're testing, because Dutch tests for different hormones. There's a test on cortisol, test on women's hormones, right? Which
Can you specify if you do
Yeah,
the
of
Dutch
course.
test?
Yeah,
I
of
think my
course.
sister
Depends on the
did a
panel.
Dutch test for
Yeah.
cancer, right? Is that true or no?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
Yeah, there's different. I did one for like a morning cortisol and women's hormones, like on specific day of.
Because you wanted
Yeah.
specific
I would
things.
start with function because it does test for like most of the things, and I
Okay.
wouldn't do Dutch unless you have a certain health conditions or concerns that you need a deeper understanding of it.
I also think, isn't function more affordable than Dutch too? Isn't
Yeah,
Dutch really
yeah.
expensive?
It's around the same price.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
but you do get more of advanced knowledge.
You get more.
Yes, because you test at home versus when you go to function, it's a snapshot of what just happened, like in that moment. But what Dutch does, like you pee, I think like every 3 hours,
Okay.
or at least three times a day, like every 5 hours.
Yeah.
And that's what they measure, like the curve.
So you see the
Yeah.
curve.
Yeah.
Well, that could be kind of interesting, actually. Yeah.
So that's I would only do that if you have some either like, I don't know, curiosity or some health condition that
Yeah.
that needs to figured out, like
Yeah.
fertility issues. Yes, go for
Fertility.
it.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Okay. What else? Anybody? I saw another hand back there. Yes.
I'm just curious about your opinion on sleep. I know that's a whole other subject, but sleep supplements in particular, like magnesium.
Yes, magnesium glycinate is the best one, or L-threonate.
Yeah. Theanine.
Yes.
Yep.
No, there's another one.
Magnesium theanine.
Yeah,
Am I
there's
making
7
that up?
types of them, and there's 2 that are very good for sleep, and the other ones are more or less. And there's a formula that I love recommending that has like all 7 in one.
Okay.
It's called Magnesium Breakthrough. It's the easiest one, and magnesium is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions in our body. It's like, I don't know, 70% of people are deficient in it. It's the most easiest and the best supplement for sleep. And then after that, you go for GABA. That's a little advanced. And then you go for like there's herbal formulas that I use with jujube and magnesium. And CBD is a powerful one for those who don't, the magnesium doesn't work for them. You want to do anything, like all of these except for melatonin.
No melatonin?
No,
Why not?
because melatonin is a hormone.
Okay.
And you want to support a natural production of melatonin by avoiding bright lights before you go to sleep,
Right.
putting on the red glasses, right? The warmer spectrum of light. That helps to produce melatonin naturally. GABA and magnesium helps to support magnesium naturally instead of replacing it completely. Because that, to some extent, it creates not an addiction, but it's a substitute.
Dependence.
Yeah,
a dependence almost.
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dependence. Yeah,
Okay.
and I forget like other side effects, but you want to avoid it. Like unless only when you're really needed, when, for example, you're jet lagged and you're traveling,
Yep.
and you really need something extra, that's when I would use it.
Okay. Yes.
With so much information coming out about mindfulness, so
Yeah.
that connection and meditation, breath work, yoga.
Yes.
Have you found or heard of any difference between those types of activities, and especially the physical activity aspect, compared to your more traditional like strength training,
Yeah.
HIIT, cardio, that might have a better or more beneficial effect on that gut health?
Thank you for asking.
That's such a good question.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You want to have balance. You want to have all strength, cardio, and stretching, as I used to say. But mindfulness, I'm certified in all of this. I'm a certified meditation and hypnosis practitioner, and it's everything that I teach is part of the GutBrain Method. Because I tell practitioners and my students, like, even if you don't practice it, but it's your job to give those tools to your patients. Acupuncture, all of that, it is absolutely scientifically proven to stimulate the vagus nerve. Breath work is key.
The best.
Taking 3 deep breaths before each meal is the easiest way to optimize your enzymatic sufficiency. Because when you're stressed out or when you're talking and having conversations, you're not digesting. This is when you end up having, like either overeat or having a heavy feeling after food. So yeah, definitely breath work, meditations, hypnosis, full body scan meditations are actually practices that I teach as part of the GutBrain Method. It's nutrition protocols, diagnostics, and mindfulness, neuroscience-backed mindfulness techniques.
It's the best.
that
oh my
I
gosh.
want to bring into medical profession,
Yeah, I know.
like education.
Yep.
And like I said, even if you don't practice it and you don't believe in it, you should have these resources for your clients.
Totally agree. And that was something that I brought into my healing process when I was going through the cancer stuff. And I did it every day. And it was, oh my God, it felt
What did you
so
do
good.
every day?
Meditation and breath work. Oh, I did
What
breath
kind of
work like
meditation?
I did transcendental meditation.
Of course.
And I really like it. And I did a different kind before that, which was just less intense, but it actually is not that transcendental is not that intense. It's just very sort of internal and focused, and it's, oh God, I love it so much. It just is so relaxing. And the breath work, I've always used breath work, especially in a stressful work environment, because I've like had many of them. And I just always have practiced breath work and used it like when I worked on domestic violence hotline. I did that for a number of years, and I would always do breath work with the women when I was talking with them, because it would like, it just takes you out of like this whole like fight or flight moment that you're in, and it just, so it all comes together,
Such
like
a
all
great
this stuff
question.
comes
I
together.
stopped my TED talk in the middle to show people the gut-brain connection.
You did?
And guided them through these
A meditation?
three deep breaths and
Yeah.
deep exhales.
Good.
It's the exhale.
Yeah.
The longer you exhale,
Right.
the faster your brain gets the signal that you're safe to prioritize rest and digest functionalities in that nervous system mode, because you have all the time in the world to exhale for that long. And this is when your heart rate lowers. And this is when you might notice you start salivating.
Wait, this is a great takeaway right here, is take 3 deep breaths before every
Yes.
meal
You
with
want to take it
long
advanced?
exhales.
Make a
I love
prayer.
that.
Make a gratitude prayer before your food, because that
Yeah.
food is about to become your hormones and your neurotransmitters. It's about to affect how you feel. And there's all these people that touched your meal.
Yeah.
The farmers, the
Yeah.
whole food workers,
Yeah.
the delivery man, and
Totally.
the person who made it for you. That's a little advanced, but
I like that. No.
Yeah, but
No,
3 deep
Mark
breaths
Hyman
is
says
no-
that.
Yes,
Mark Hyman,
No,
I just
Giselle
saw,
Bundchen says that.
I just actually
She's
posted today a Mark Hyman quote because I was so moved by it, and it was that the most powerful thing I think is gratitude
Yeah.
in terms of your mind gut health is gratitude, because it's you're like empowering yourself, and it connects your vagus nerve, like the whole concept of gratitude connects your vagus nerve, right, to from your gut to your mind.
Yeah.
You could read the quote. I'm not saying it well, but
No,
I
there's
was
so
like,
much
that's
science
cool.
about the vagus nerve and
Yeah.
how you can actually tone it like a muscle.
Gratitude.
No, but vagus
your vagus nerve, okay.
which connects your gut and brain.
Yeah.
And
Oh, interesting.
the best way through neuroscience, what showed is the best way to stimulate it is through breath work, and focusing on long exhales is where your vagus nerve actually
You
gets
tone
to
your
switch.
vagus nerve. Wait, so going back to your question about physical workouts,
Yeah.
this
She
is something that needs to be toned as
Yeah,
well. So
yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
and she specifically mentioned like yoga,
she did.
acupuncture.
Yeah, all
and
those good
everything
things.
that helps you to slow down.
Yeah.
And you want to learn to slow down before
Yeah.
life makes you or teach you that,
Absolutely.
that lesson, yeah.
Anything else before we say goodbye? Yes, please.
If you have to choose, I don't know, one supplement for psoriasis,
Look, I don't diagnose like this on the spot. Like, I would recommend you at least once do the gut health test and see what it is. It could be bacterial overgrowth. It could be parasites. I have a gut health evaluation call, like when you fill out the symptoms and we talk, and then I figure out like what's best for you. But it's I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It's 8 pages long report. And it's life-changing for most people to ever get to know. And most people live their whole life. It's very advanced. And I'm so excited when people get to have that access to that data.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most doctors have no clue. They didn't even know how to interpret it.
No.
I had to learn.
Well, thank God you're learning and teaching all of us, and thank heavens that there's access to it.
And I didn't learn in schools. That's what
No.
I'm trying to bring to this education
No.
system.
No.
We need gut health experts.
There's not even nutrition. There's
Yeah.
not for doctors, Western doctors.
Yeah.
They don't learn nutrition. And again, they're learning very specific things that are very
Yeah.
important. It's just
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
this kind of stuff that we need.
It could be inflammation, because like I said, when I'm looking at your skin, I'm looking at your gut right away. Like something's irritating it and something's causing it. but I wouldn't diagnose you on the spot. Like I said, it's like this 5 aspects, and I always begin my sessions with like, good news, this is great, no inflammation and no parasites. Now we focus on other things that we need to, because you can't, like most clients, like at least one thing is like okay with their gut health, but some things that need to be, like today I worked with a woman from New York. She had E. coli overgrowth.
E. coli overgrowth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like not only that she was exposed to it, but it was overgrowth.
How do you find that? How do you know?
I mean, you test for it,
okay.
right? And I wouldn't be able to treat it without like knowing what's
Without
happening,
knowing, and then you can treat
and
it.
Most
and
people
then,
in the United States don't have E. coli overgrowth,
right.
So it's very personalized.
Yeah.
And it's worth it.
I feel like we should all go do this test, frankly. Like I'm doing
Ashley
it.
has done it.
Ash, did you?
She's
Okay.
only recently, after years of listening to me.
Anything else before we say goodbye? I know people have things to do this evening. It's a
Yeah.
very busy time. Oh, yes. Yes, yes.
I'm gonna shift the attention to like the younger generation.
Yeah.
We talked about menopause, we opened the conversation for that. What would you recommend for someone in their adolescence and early 20s? What are like the top 3 things that you think they should start doing now to set them up for like success in the future?
Fall in love with food that loves you back. It's basically making sure that you're actually enjoying the anti-inflammatory way of eating, not just like forcing yourself to eat it just because someone tells you. Finding the recipes that excite you. Next thing you know, you're a role model in your community, and everyone's having what you're having because you're genuinely enjoying and you're glowing, right? That's one thing, like nutrition fundamentals. The second thing is stress management. I would say most people in their 20s are so hard on themselves. They feel like they have to figure it out all like at once. And I remember the day I met like Mark Hyman, and he looked at me, that was like years ago. He looked at me, he's like, people look at me, they think like I have it figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting there like nutrition student. I'm like, what? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like a king in my industry. I'm like, why am I so hard on myself?
Right.
Don't compare yourself to anyone, and just figure out how to manage stress. Surround yourself with mentors that tell you, you'll figure it out. The mistakes, like I feel like the stress and how hard the young people are on themselves is the one thing that become friends with the girl who asked about mindfulness techniques. She sounds like she's doing a lot of good things already.
Wait, I think you two already connected, didn't you?
No,
they're
it was
both
like from
they're
different-
both yoga teachers.
Yeah.
Yes. That's cool. I like that.
And the third thing I would say, learn about women's health early. Learn from the older women, because now we're finally being exposed to that information, because before, most women were silent about the things that are going through. And then there's so many misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed conditions, and you'll realize you're not the only one maybe dealing with certain things. And it just like creates a community of like-minded individuals, and where you could learn from each other and support each other. And
Love
now
that.
I feel like women are, we're having our moment.
We are having
Yeah, and
our
women
moment.
support each other much better than like men.
I think
can
it's
do.
great.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I have a 24-year-old daughter, and I love those girls. I love those girls because they love each other fiercely, and they talk about everything. I mean, everything they talk about. I'm like, wow, you guys are bold. Like, I mean, and I'm there for a lot of them, or they'll like include me in group chats about certain things. And I think that's a really great question that you asked, and I think it's important that the whole concept of
I think like also in the 20s, like not just being hard on themselves, they're like attached to this idea of perfection.
yeah, for sure,
And
for
like,
sure.
comparing themselves to models. Now that I'm thinking about that mindset,
Aye.
right? The model thin is the healthy. We're thinking that someone else have it all figured out and have it all, under control and like the total perfection. That is false.
And it's just not true.
Yes.
It just is not true.
And what I've learned actually from models is that make sure you have jeans that are 2 different sizes. So when you're like on your normal days, just wear the skinny jeans. When you're right before your period, you deserve to feel beautiful. Just put on the jeans that are one size bigger. That's key. And when I learned that from models, I was like, wait, why was I so hard on myself my whole life trying to be thin and the same size 365 days a year?
Not possible.
Yes.
Given
And
our
also
hormonal
says, like, I
situation.
deserve to feel beautiful. I don't care if I'm bloated a little bit before my period.
That's great. I love that. Wow. Okay, we've learned things. Well, anything else before we say goodbye for now? Thank you all for
Thank
the
you
great
so
questions and for
much.
being here. Ella, thank you so much. Ella has books, so if you want to say hi to her and you want to see her book or get her book, you're welcome to. Thanks again. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Inside the Well Space. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
On a plane to London and I feel so sick.